She didn't whisper. She didn't question. She charged at him, jabbing her finger, shouting, "Thief!" so loudly that every shopper froze. Phones swung toward the black man she had already judged, already condemned. He stood still, calm, silent. But there was something in his eyes she never recognized. Not fear, not confusion, just a quiet warning. A storm was coming, one powerful enough to turn this luxury store upside down and expose exactly who she had dared to humiliate. And when the truth arrived, her world would crack in a single, unforgettable moment. Marcus Dyer stepped into the upscale boutique with quiet confidence, scanning the carefully arranged shelves as if he already knew what he wanted. He moved slowly, deliberately, studying the craftsmanship with an expert eye. But before he could even ask a question, a sharp voice sliced through the air. "Stop right there!" Store manager Laura Bristow strode toward him as if she owned the ground beneath her feet. Her expression carried that practiced superiority reserved for people she believed didn't belong. Marcus looked up calmly. "Is there a problem?" She didn't answer. Instead, she circled him, eyes narrowed, assessing him like a threat. A few customers pretended not to watch, but their phones were already angled upward. "You're not fooling anyone," she hissed. "People like you don't walk in here to buy. You walk in here to steal." Marcus's brows tightened. "I'm here to shop. That's all." Laura waved her hand dramatically. "And I'm here to protect this store from suspicious behavior. Don't play innocent. I saw you hovering over the display." A young sales associate, Emma Ruiz, rushed forward. "Ma'am, he hasn't done anything." "Emma," Laura snapped, "stay out of this unless you want to find a new job." Emma fell silent, but her eyes burned with frustration. Laura barked, "Security!" A guard approached, Calvin Brooks tall, composed, and seasoned enough to read people instantly. He took one look at Marcus and immediately sensed the imbalance. "What seems to be the issue?" Calvin asked. "This man is casing the shelves," Laura declared. "Remove him." Calvin paused. "I've been watching the floor. He hasn't done anything suspicious." Laura stepped closer to Marcus, almost invading his space. "Hand over the bag you're holding," she demanded. Marcus glanced at the product. "I picked this up to examine it." "Give it to me." She yanked it from his hand, lifted it high, and announced loudly, "Everyone look. This is how thieves try to blend in." A few gasps rippled through the store. Someone whispered, "This doesn't feel right." Another murmured, "Is she serious?" Marcus inhaled deeply, restraining the frustration tightening his jaw. "You're making a mistake." "And you're trespassing," Laura said. "Calvin, remove him now." Calvin stood firm. "No, I'm not dragging someone out because of your assumptions." Laura's eyes flared. "Then you're fired." Emma stepped forward, voice trembling but determined. "You can't fire him for doing the right thing." "I just did. And you can join him if you keep talking." Laura turned to the gathering crowd. "Record this. This is how we stop criminals." A college student holding her phone whispered, "This is going online. Right now." A live stream started instantly. Marcus pulled out his phone and dialed a number with steady precision. "Activate protocol," he said calmly. "Send the team." Laura scoffed. "Protocol? Who do you think you are?" "You'll find out soon," Marcus replied quietly. Within minutes, the glass doors parted as a small corporate convoy arrived. The atmosphere inside the boutique shifted. The air tightened with tension, curiosity, and fear. At the front was Ethan Warwick, the company's chief operating officer. He walked into the store with swift authority, followed by legal, PR, and security leads. "Where is he?" Ethan asked. Marcus raised his hand slightly. Ethan exhaled with visible relief. "Mr. Dyer, we came as fast as possible." Laura blinked. "Mr. who?" Ethan turned toward her slowly. "Mr. Marcus Dyer. The individual you accused, confronted, harassed, and humiliated. His tone sharpened. Mr. Dyer is the majority shareholder of this company and the executive chairman of our entire retail division. The room froze. Emma covered her mouth. Calvin exhaled in disbelief. Customers scrambled to stop their recordings, only to restart them with keener focus. Laura's knees wobbled. Wait, what? Everything happening here, Ethan continued, is being documented and reviewed at the highest level. Marcus stepped closer, his calm now carrying the weight of command. I walked in to make a purchase. You chose humiliation instead of service. You chose prejudice instead of professionalism. Laura shook her head frantically. I didn't know. If you'd told me, I shouldn't have to announce my worth to be treated with basic respect, Marcus replied. Ethan signaled to HR. Effective immediately, Laura Bristow is terminated for misconduct, discrimination, and wrongful dismissal of employees. Laura stumbled backward. You can't do that. You fired 2 employees on camera, Ethan said. They are reinstated with full compensation. Emma's eyes filled with tears. Calvin straightened his posture, pride replacing humiliation. Laura reached for Marcus desperately. Sir, please don't ruin my life over a misunderstanding. Marcus's expression remained composed. You ruined it yourself when you mistook arrogance for authority. Security escorted her out as the live stream audience exploded with comments. Ethan turned to Marcus. What would you like us to do next? Rebuild, Marcus said. Reform the training. Fix the culture. Make sure no one experiences what I did today. As the crowd dispersed and calm settled over the boutique, Emma approached hesitantly. Thank you for standing up to her. Marcus offered a small nod. You stood up first. The boutique felt different now. No tension, no fear. Just the unmistakable shift of power reclaimed and justice restored. Shocked by that ending? Like, share, and comment your reaction? Which moment stunned you the most? Subscribe and turn on notifications for more stories where dignity rises, arrogance collapses, and truth hits harder than humiliation.